1,000,000 ways to paint white scars, and this is one of them. Beginner friendly with dry brushing and explained in under 4 minutes. Start off with a very dark gray. I use Vallejo dark blue gray. Standard Mechanicus is a great alternative. Simply base coat your entire model in this color. Make sure to thin this a bit as always. And for good coverage, apply this twice. Next up, take a lighter gray. I use Vallejo dark sea gray. Dawnstone is a great alternative. Grab a dry brush and a texture palette. A texture palette helps reduce graininess when you're dry brushing. Start flicking your dry brush top to bottom. This will create shadows as though you're slap chopping. To have this cover nicely, use multiple passes. The risk of graininess also increases the more paint is on your dry brush. Keep adding layers until you're satisfied or your model looks like this. Now we take a really light gray. I use Vallejo white gray, but an stratum gray is also good. Dry brush this on in the same way as the previous step, but keep your brush around the helmet area. So shoulders, head, chest, upper arms, and maybe if you want lower arms. And as with the previous step, make sure to add these layers multiple times till it looks like this. Now let's make the fast white look white with Vallejo dead white or use White Scar. You could dry brush this step with a small dry brush, no problem. But you know me, I believe in you to challenge yourself with some edge highlighting. Use a small brush and use the edges to apply a thin white line on all the edges. Make sure the brush has a fine tip and the bristle isn't too loaded with paint. Try adding thin lines on the brows with the tip of your brush. Now take a red contrast. I use Liquitex ink because it's really vibrant, but Flesh Terror's red or Blood Angel's red works just fine. Because you've basically slap chopped the model, simply apply this to the Aquila on his chest and the pauldron's edges. Ink is a bit thinner than contrast, but in both cases apply with minimal pressure. Lastly, add warp lightning green contrast to the lenses. If you don't feel confident doing lenses, add a droplet of water to help the paint stay within the boundaries of the lenses. And there you go. A shaded and highlighted White Scar Marine. A fast and easy way to prep the models for details like guns, under armor, and belts.